What's going on, guys? We got Kareem Zamir. Josh is known by name, local player for Gundam. Has become back. Welcome back. We appreciate you here.
Happy to be back.
I see you have won, once again, another Gundam regional.
Yeah, took second last time. This time I was like, well, I guess I'll go first. We'll see what happens. So it was Xeon prizing. I had to do it. We're the Xeon rats. It felt right. So
hey, listen, we know you try and work so hard on what you do. Going back-to-back regionals from Orlando to GenCon. I know you had to face one of your training partners up there.
Yeah.
What was the sizing of the field that you had to go against?
I think we were over 500 players, so it wasn't too bad. It's like so weird to like think about because it's like it felt like a smaller regional, but then you really think about it, like everybody who was there had to like pay in a blood price to be there because you had to have a ticket to Gen Con. So it was like you're buying your ticket to the regional, you're buying a ticket to Gen Con, and then you had to get your ass all the way out to Indy. I don't know if I can say that, but you know.
It's fine. I'll just bleep it out.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So, going up there and, already being a champion from the Orlando regional, obviously the meta shifted in between. We had GDO 5 that came out. I know you guys come here and we take care of you. What was the deck that you ended up playing while you were out there this time?
We are filming this like the week after Gen Con, so that'll date it a little bit. And I have now weirdly become like a bit of a meme, which is kind of funny. I played a GDO 4 deck for Gen Con. Everyone locally was panicking. I know here at Pops and Sons, I mentioned it in a different interview with Wong Boy Wonder, shout out to Wong Boy, that we got like allocated pretty heavily for GDO 5. I think a lot of stores did. So I wasn't sure where my product was going to be. Thankfully, Pops and Sons hooked it up. I ended up with a play set of GDO 5 heading into Gen Con Regionals. In testing, I just could not make anything work. So I took like an old reliable that I took to Kissimmee for the previous regional, made a couple of changes and tweaks where I thought the meta was going to be, and it paid off. So I guess that worked.
Yeah, listen, you know what? This is what training, perseverance, and preparation comes into play. And I have seen you here multiple times just spending hours, shooting the shit and working out what you think is going to work out best for you and your play style. Obviously, like you said, you have clearly have just knocked it out of the park. Winning 2 regionals for a game that's relatively still pretty new is honestly phenomenal, and we appreciate you going out there and representing Pops and Son and the local Tampa community, St. Pete community, and taking a win, not just for the player base but also for the area, and then obviously yourself because you're clearly a great player. Especially you come over on One Piece nights too, and I respect your gameplay. You say mid, but I don't think I've ever won against you.
Oh no. One Piece I always had so much fun with. Went to Nats with it a couple times, got to play a lot of the greats. Shout out Jonas, one of my favorites. I don't think I ever hit the heights. I could get to like top 64s quite frequently, 32s every so often, but nothing too crazy. Gundam's just been so much fun, and it's one of the ones where I was telling a lot of the guys where it's like, when you get into a game that you really mess with heavy, I'll curse, I'm not gonna curse, you get a little bit more excited to like really try your hardest. I love One Piece as a franchise now. When I got into One Piece, I don't think I'd seen a single episode. I grew up with Gundam. Gundam was an anime, and mecha in general has always been one of my favorites. So I've been kind of putting my blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it's like very surreal at this point to actually be kind of good at it. So cool.
Hey man, you couldn't say it better yourself. You're the champ. I'm a
for
pleb.
Now. Yeah.
You're the champ for now. You're right. I'm the pleb. I don't know anything.
No.
But I know that you had to play against your training partner in the final round. Going into that, give me some like anything you were feeling going into it. Did you think you were prepared to go into that type of match? Did you know who he was playing? Yeah, so it was a weird one. So I've said in multiple interviews at this point, which is again very surreal. Shout out to everybody. My friend Arvin, A Burning Falcon, you'll see his moniker online. We'll probably do a deck profile on my YouTube soon, so keep an eye out for that. He tends to be the Kira to my Othran. He plays blue-white. I tend to play red-white. So we're kind of like polar opposites. He likes to play for the long game. I like to play for like kind of a mid-range strategy. So going into it was kind of funny. I think we both paired round 8 into a G Gundam mobile fighter list. And I sat down and kind of like looked over. I was like, are you kidding me? We're both going to end up in the finals together. And it was very surreal. Honestly, wouldn't change a damn thing. Like, love the guy to the moon and back. So being able to go not only to Gen Con with my wife and get to represent the store, which was great, but also getting to play against
truly one of my favorite people in this game, in this community, was awesome. Like, so it was kind of one of those like fist pump moments where you're like, wow, like we practice a lot, we talk a big game, we are online, we're in the groups, we're in Discords and all that stuff, and then we're both here first and second. Like, you know, win, lose, or draw, I think we were both going to be happy no matter how it came out. Managed to squeak out a win, so it was really cool. We made sure to play it, and yeah, it was awesome. It was very, very cool.
Oh, dude, that's, you know, honestly, nothing better than playing a card game with friends.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that kind of brings it back down. You guys play at locals all the time. You're practicing, and then just seeing each other at that final table. It must have just, like you said, surreal. That just must have also been a great feeling just overall.
Yeah.
What was a defining moment in that match that you knew that, man, I've got this. This is my game?
Never. Honestly, never. I teched for specifically the big boss monster that came out for GDO 5. Arv is a very big fan of Gundam Seed. I knew he was going to be running Strike Freedom, which is like the new big LR. Everyone's crazy on that level 8. It is a fantastic card. My kind of like big deck tech into that was playing 3 Aegis Gundam, which is kind of Othrin's signature unit in the early series. It deals 3 damage to a higher end unit, so I had 2 of them on board and was able to swing and kind of burn down his units, which is really nice. But there's always that chance, especially with Arvin, that I'll look over, it'll be cards in hand, I'll have 4 or 5, and he's sitting with a brick, you know? So I'm like, it could go away at any time as soon as I take my foot off the gas. So I never felt confident in that matchup when we played it out. It was just one of the ones where I'm like, I think I'm good, I'm hoping I'm good. And finally, when the last shield flipped and I could swing for game, I was like, oh, thank God. It was like a weight came off my chest. So I was like, thank goodness. It's one of the ones where we sat down and I said, you know, we could honestly coin flip this 50 times and it'd be the same as playing it. He is just a phenomenal player, and honestly, in testing, I think our win rate is pretty close to a 50-50 as we can make it. So it was a great time. It was honestly just like, again, like groundbreaking, and like it doesn't feel real to this day. So it's kind of crazy.
Oh, sick. So I've got, you know, just 2 more questions.
Sure.
One, I see you brought us some goodies.
Yeah, surprising.
What'd you end up getting? Show it to us, bring it to the
Sure.
camera, show the world what you earned today.
Yeah. So for Gundam Regionals, a lot of people online will complain about the pricing. I think the pricing is really cool. It's pretty interesting. I've not opened some of it. And one thing people, eagle-eyed viewers will know is missing, but we'll start with the big thing. For becoming Regionals champion, you get a solid glass trophy, which is kind of sick. It's got the LR that is given out for the champion card, and I've got that down here. I love this. I love getting a trophy. So many people from One Piece would always run into the issue of like the prizing being worth so much money, and you're at like this weird pressure, especially if you're like, you know, like a salaried employee, where you're like, oh, it's you know, you got to sell your prize cards. It pays for all your stuff. Having a trophy that's like, hey, this is what I did. It's going to sit on my shelf forever. I'll tell my kids about it maybe one day if they don't think Dad's a big nerd. Really, really cool. Got a pack of top 64 sleeves. And for eagle-eyed viewers at home, they will realize that I was supposed to end up with 2 of these finalist Shars. I found a guy at the regional who had a beta Char. I don't already own one. I have a beta Zaku. So we worked out a deal for a beta for one of my tops. If I end up playing a Char deck, I will happily have 4 different Chars now that I have the finalist, the beta, the foil from the starter deck, and now I also have one of the SPs, thanks to some of my friends at GenCon for hooking me up with that. Behind here are some of the foil hands. I'll open it here so we can all see it. And then obviously for going undefeated all day, I got the Zeong, which one of my buddies did like some kitchen math and told me there's only gonna be like 20 of these available. Behind this card is the head token that this unit makes, and we're gonna open it for you guys here first ever. I think it's like the first in North America, so it'd be pretty cool.
Sick. You know, it's awesome that they really got the excellent pricing. You're not wrong with One Piece. You know, getting a trophy would be an excellent moment that you can hold on to, so you don't have to worry about having to sell your actual championship card.
Yeah, I love, like, when I played, it was really cool to see like the Yamatos and like the cereals and stuff, but man, heart goes out to you guys. I'm sure it's gonna come to Gundam eventually. We're seeing it with a lot of the market stuff. I don't wanna get too into the nitty gritty, like that inside baseball type stuff. But yeah, it's always nice when you have something that you can kind of like just be like, hey, I don't think anyone's gonna like break my legs to try and get this card from me or this valuable thing. It's like, it is a trophy. It is gonna stand as an accomplishment, a testament to what I did. So that honestly is like super cool to me. The fact I also get cool cards I can play and flex on locals, super cool.
Hey, listen, you're the only person I know that'll take a really expensive card and bridge shuffle it and still say, hey, guess what? Cards are for playing.
I've always felt that way. A bunch of my friends are very highly competitive Pokemon players, and they're the same way. They bridge shuffle what they have. I think it was like my round 5 or 6 opponent. I always do the corner bridge shuffle, then into like a couple mashes. Guy was like, oh, cool, yeah, min rarity, right? And I started dropping SPs and plus pluses, mangas or whatever for you guys that aren't into Gundam. And they were a little afraid of me, and I was like, hey, man, they're just cards. I paid $5 for the pack that had this card in it. That's what it's worth. You know, it's as much enjoyment as I can get out of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, listen, you know what? To each their own. I won't be shuffling any mangas. But
fair.
You know what? Who knows? Maybe that's what the luck that just came in, and you doing the bridge shuffle and disrespecting the cards and respecting them all at the same time.
Maybe.
You know, it's intimidating. If I saw that, I'd be like, oh, I can't win.
It's one of the ones I've said online already, and I've told all my friends too. I love my wife to death, and I'll say this: she loves online shopping. Shout out, Maddie. And when she gets something new, like a new set of shoes, a new dress, what have you, she gets a new makeup palette, she wants to show off. She wants to go out, we got to go dancing. We love swing dancing, we love going out, exploring new restaurants. If you have a beautiful woman in your life, she wants to show out. Alt arts are the same way, fellas. If you get alt arts, you get your high rarity, what have you, they want to be shown off. They want to be on the table. I don't know if it's superstition, it very much is. But I always find when you play with the cards as they're meant to be played, you do well sometimes. So you luck out a little bit. I don't know if it's, again, we'll knock on wood, what have you, but it is what it is.
They say the proof's in the pudding, and clearly you've got the pudding.
Yeah.
So,
Well, pudding's in one piece.
Yeah. You're right. But she got banned. We don't talk about that no more.
Yeah, that's true.
So the last question I'm really going to have to you before we go off into the period, you're going to rip these cards. You're going to show us what you've got.
Show them out.
Naruto game's coming out.
Yes, it is.
Bandai next year in July 2027. Rumors of, that there might be like a beta testing somewhere between February and March.
Yep.
What is your thoughts on the game? I know that you were in GenCon. I believe you got to play it.
Mm-hmm. I have the chakra cards too. We can show those off.
Oh, cool. Ooh, yeah. You can give me a chakra card, right?
Oh,
yeah. Let's don't worry about that. I'll see you out in the parking lot.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the game since you got to play it? Like,
Sure.
do you think it could be competitive nature? Is it going to be top 5?
So top 5's a tough one. When it comes to Bandai's games, I come from a marketing background. A lot of people know me for advertising, things of that sort, in my personal life. So fun fact for that, a little bit of lore. We've noticed in the marketplace for Bandai games that they've kind of always positioned a new game into the market as a competitor to an existing IP. We saw that with Gundam. A lot of people have attributed the kind of play style and slowness of it, where you've kind of value traded things, similarly to Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. Has a very similar feel for like action timing and windows. It has for how the units and the pieces work. We've seen it with One Piece, where it's kind of been like almost a competitor to like character-based games, things like Flesh and Blood, or even to like a lesser extent, kind of like the Y. Schwartz kind of type things. I think Grand Archive is another like leader-based game that I think One Piece really puts a lot of competition into. Naruto, people were walking around Gen Con calling it Yu-Gi-Oh 2.0, GOAT format Yu-Gi-Oh. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, loved it. Played it for a little bit up until like Archfiends, which was kind of fun. Nowadays, I can't do it. My eyesight is too poor to read those cards. I think Naruto is in a great spot. Getting to play the demo, my wife got to play the demo as well. While personally, I'm not a big Naruto fan. I'm a mecha guy. I'm sorry, it is what it is. As far as for like the big 3 go, I was always bigger into Dragon Ball, so I love Dragon Ball Masters still to this day. I think Naruto's got a really good shot. It's a very big, popular IP. The gameplay feels clean. It seems easy. It's one of the ones that I think is going to have a very low skill floor, but a very high skill ceiling. Just seeing how some of the chakras worked, how some of the kind of like the spell and traps of the game worked, and overall how their resource system does, not being one for cards to play from hand, but playing for the effects on those cards was a very interesting thing. And still being a leader-based game, I think is going to draw a lot of people in. Being able to say like, oh, I'm playing my Naruto deck or my Sasuke deck. It's something that I feel like we lose a lot of in Gundam. A lot of our decks tend to be like good stuff in these colors, which is appealing to people like myself who like to deck build. But there's a lot of folks too where it's just appealing to be like, I want to play just my favorite Buggy D Clown, the GOAT. And it's nice to be able to just kind of like tie your ship to that leader. So I think Naruto's going to do very well. I don't know if it'll be like Big 4, Big 5 in the TCG space. There's a lot of really good games coming out next year. Cyberpunk's one of them that I'm blown away after seeing it. But man, it looks really cool. The cards look great. As always, those alt arts are mwah, Bandai doesn't miss. So I'll reserve judgment until then. Suffice to say, I'll be very excited, and especially getting to see it here at Pops and Sons Collectibles will be really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited for the game. I'm a big Naruto fan myself. I even got my mat ahead of time. Listen, I've already got the Jiraiya mat, and when Pain Leader comes out, you better believe I'm throwing that down on the mat.
Very, 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 very fun. I'm hoping for Shikamaru and Mike Guy. The spirit of youth, baby.
Absolutely, one of the best OP Shinobis that it says, I don't need any chakra moves. I'm just going to throw hands and you're going to catch them.
That's all it is, man.
So, listen, I guess that's your hot take on Naruto.
Yep.
Let's get into these cards. Let's see what you got. First, North America ripping.
Yep, for it. Yeah, we'll do it right on camera. So obviously, not first time, just a cool beta. Met a lot of really cool people at GenCon, folks that were interested in the top prizing. Obviously, I left it all sealed for our folks here at Pops and Sons Collectibles. If you're tuning in on TikTok or Instagram, this will be a cool video to check out. Beta cards are super cool. I love collecting it, so yeah. We're gonna go ahead and put that up and forward. Nothing fancy to do that, just a fun, cool card on that one. Into our top 8. So there are quite a few of these out now. I love that Bandai gives me the little rippers. Some people, when they asked me what I was going to do with these cards, I said I'm going to just open them, and people call me crazy, and maybe I am crazy. So there's our Char Aznable. We'll move that up and forward. So super duper cool. The nice thing with these is for this season, instead of just one card like you'll get with other games, we are dealing with some tokens. So we've got our hand tokens, our left and right hands. So we'll push that all the way in there. Pretty cool. And then of course, where Biggie is, there's smalls. So we've got our 2 hand tokens, all again with that crazy texturing and super fun stuff. These will be in my token deck for the foreseeable future. I don't plan to part with my second set. My first set went to a true collector and friend and fan, and I could not see them going to a better home, so that was awesome. And now we will get into the big boy. When Tyler heard that I won, he asked me not to open this. I had multiple people making me offers at Gen Con. While money is cool, money comes and goes, cards are meant to be played with. So we're gonna rip this open, completely ruin the value. It will not be graded. PSA is a scam. You can quote me on that. Thank you so much. Again, my opinions are not those of Pops and Sons Collectibles. So there is our Xeon winner card, all the foiling and texture. And now, for the first time in North America, we will finally get to see the head token. Again, the token that is behind the card that no one can even see, the texturing and foiling on that is unique into itself. You can only get this for winning a regional, which is absolutely freaking insane and nutty that I'm holding it in my hand. I've not even seen it myself. So let's take a look for me. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
super cool.
Bandai really just brings out the artwork. They really just top notch overall.
Oh yeah, they don't miss.
Thank you for taking the time.
Of course.
One, talking with us, but also sitting there and I could imagine. I'm a ripper. I'm a gambler. I want to see what's there, and seeing something wrapped in plastic that I know I can rip, and no one's ever seen it before. That took a lot of will and patience, and perseverance that you clearly didn't just apply to the game, but you clearly apply to your own life. And we appreciate you giving us the opportunity, not just to again speak with you, but be able to enjoy these cards with you.
Of course. There's one thing, a lesson that I learned really early on from my grandfather. Shout out to Jim Storm, God rest him. There are a number of times in your life you'll run into things. You might find things you really love. You might find things you obsess over. But the kind of key prevailing thought has always been everything in moderation, except for love and cartoons. So makes it easy.
We're gonna go and leave it right there, man. Listen, Josh, Kareem, you are a boon here. We welcome you here. We love you here.
Love you guys too.
We see you here for One Piece. We see you here for Gundam. You clearly bring a really great community here. Go ahead and shoot those times and dates that we actually play Gundam.
Oh yeah, so we play Gundams. It'll be moving as of October. It'll be Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. and will be on Friday nights at 7 p.m. as well. Feel free, drop in anytime at locals. Walk up, say hi. You can act like you're my friend. I treat everyone like my friend here. Here in Florida, we have a beautiful community, a lot of great stores. Pops and Sons, obviously my personal favorite, but there's a lot of really great players here in Florida, a lot of really great places to play. Stop on by if you're ever in the neighborhood.